Good afternoon. It is February 11th. I believe 2024, I have to say, but don't know. But I believe it's February 11th on a Sunday, 2024. It's approximately around 4 p.m., maybe 5 p.m. But I came here today just to do this video, not professional, but trying my very best. But it's not easy doing videos unless you're professional. But I have my mom over there in the background, a friend of mine. But I like to say, what do you think about the 49ers game today? Have you always been a San Francisco 49ers fan growing up?
I've always liked them. Ever since I was a kid. I don't want them.
You're not in it. But anyway,
right now.
this is, I've always been a 49er fan myself. But, I was born and raised in California. So I still just enjoy the moment of what I'm in right now. But as I'm going to go into the scene, I want to show you something that's important. When you're doing videos, you just got to portray what you're doing. Okay, this is me again. I'm in the scene doing my thing. But first of all, I'm doing a video. And when you're doing videos, by the way, it's not easy. It's really challenging because if you're using a selfie stick, if you're using, whatever you're claiming to be, it's very hard to do videos. And people think they're professional at doing things, but this is just what it's all about. I come to enjoy the moment of today. This is the t-shirt that I'm wearing. I don't know if you can see it well. It's pretty close up. But let me see at the moment. Very dark image. So it's pretty poor quality video. But I don't do poor quality videos for a reason or not to have a reason to do it. But all I can think of in the video, I want to bring up more about the video that I'm talking about today. And I'm going to bring it in right now and talk about the past. We always want to be living in the present of not always thinking about the past or future. But being today, February 11th on a Sunday, being around 5 p.m. right now, I remember growing up and realizing, getting older every year, that I am. I was born and raised in California. So I felt that, we all have our favorite football teams, favorite baseball teams, basketball teams, and may I say no more. But doesn't matter where we're from or where we live in life. But even though I like all the California teams, and there's a lot of people that don't, if you're from this part of California, you're part of this part, it doesn't matter where you're from. But I look at this way. I was actually born and raised in California. So I still have to say that I enjoy just football, baseball, many sports. But this is a Curtis E. Flush. Curtis E. Flush is the new name. But right now, I'm just doing a video on today of the 49ers and the Kansas City Chiefs. But as I remember going back in the times when I first remember that people had all these names for me, Curtis Gump, Curtis Macadamian or whatever. I had so many names back then, but I didn't really want to focus on that because this is like a podcast that I'm doing right now. And I thought about, why am I doing a podcast during a Super Bowl game? I asked myself that. a lot of people wanted me to do podcasts, and that was kind of what I thought about doing. Doing podcasts are pretty hard to do when you're first learning, but you want to talk about the subject of your podcast to be focused on the podcast of what you are wanting to talk about, and you want to stay on the topic of what you're talking about, because a lot of people, they don't see it for who they are, because when you're doing a video or a podcast, it's tough because you want to portray on what you want to talk about. So if you're talking about football, like today, talking about the Super Bowl, in Las Vegas, Nevada, but I'm just saying what I have to say. But I just want to make it brief. Growing up in life, realizing the times of the past. I just want to think about right now, being in the present moment, and to enjoy the moment with family that I still have today. Because we're all here as human beings, and I can come up and pop my collar and just say popping it, popping it, popping it, pop my collar. But do I want to just think about that? Okay, as I'm here doing this last minute thing I have to talk about in the video today, as I'm doing a podcast, I'm just going to say what I got to say. I remember when family used to get together. I can bring up names, but then I don't know if I should bring up a lot of names in the family. But I do remember growing up, it was about Super Bowl parties, and stuff, as the family used to get together, and we used to enjoy the moment at these family parties. Because when you're doing videos like talking, you don't always want to bring up names, because somebody can be upset if you bring up their name. And that's what you got to be smart about, because when you bring out names, that can upset people. You say this, say hi about that. We all don't want to think about that. We just want to be mellow and just enjoy every day of our life and be in the presence. But a lot of people think about the past, and they always think about the future and all this other stuff. But I'd like to say, what would my mom want to say about? She always tells me the same thing all the time. But anyway, she's always told me to think about what's going on right now, being in this present moment. And I've had a lot of times I don't really want to focus on the being in the presence. I want to think about other things, but then I realize that maybe I have to be in the presence at times and not think about all the drama of the past, or everything. But I just think about the memories, the good memories of the times when the family had actually had Super Bowl parties. And as I come to say, the Super Bowl parties when the family all came together. And I know this is probably a long video, but I'd like to just make that video so people can enjoy of the family, because we all have family out there. We come together going to parties and enjoying the parties we go to. But the Super Bowl, all my life, it was just interesting, because I realized seeing the Super Bowl was going to be with family, of the past. But I enjoy these moments with that, when the family got together at different houses we went to and enjoyed the moments with family. I realized, man, family has done their own thing. They go on to do their own things. But I'm just going to close for the day and just remember those moments that we had. Is growing up, we all had fun at these Super Bowl parties. We had made bets. We had played, things about the first quarter, the second quarter, who won. We get a certain amount of money or something. That was fun. I enjoyed that. You know, some of the old people that we've lost, you know, family that we've lost, we always remember those moments of the past. But then we realize that our families now are just enjoying themselves. You know, we're in different areas of life. But I always will remember of the old family get togethers. But may I say no more. Peace, love to everybody out there on this February 11th, 2024. Today is the day of the Super Bowl. San Francisco 49ers against the Kansas City Chiefs. And, you know, let's just enjoy the game. If your family's out having fun, we all gotta have fun and enjoy every moment. Until then, I do have to say the last scene of the story is that may the best team win, but I'm not going to say it like that. Go 49ers! You rock and roll. I'm out. Bye-bye. Bye! All right.